So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
George from Stick to Your Guns.
And we're going to have some questions to say about the upcoming album, Spectre. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
So far, everything's been great. Been feeling good. It's been a long time coming for us. The record's actually been done since 2019.
What?
I know. It was done right before the pandemic, and we just couldn't bring ourselves to release it during the pandemic without being able to tour. I'm also speaking about the pandemic as if it's over. Clearly, it's not.
Yeah.
But you know, we're now releasing the record, and the response has been great. It's been a long time coming. Thrilled that people are finally getting the chance to hear it.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, the album rocks. Like,
thanks,
had me
guys.
like all amped up today while I was listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah. Well, so the cover art, it's kind of interesting. I know Jesse's the one, our singer, who usually handles like art direction.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he went through a couple of different ideas, but his, I guess the overall aesthetic was he wanted something that was just like aggressive, which I feel like the cover's like, it's pretty aggressive. I mean, there's a hammer, a nail, some barking dogs. It feels abrasive, and hopefully it gels with like the sonic aspect of the record. I guess the listeners will be the ones to decide that. The album title, it's something that's kind of like, I guess, mired in a little bit of ambiguity and mystique right now, which I kind of like. I like listeners to maybe develop their own interpretation of it. But for me, it's we're clearly dealing with, or I'd say that we're on the precipice of needing radical transformational change in the structures and systems and even the relationships that are a part of our lives. And it's something that haunts us at night. It's something that keeps us up. And that's what I like to think about. It's something that's constantly just kind of maybe an ambient noise that's always reminding you like we can choose to change the way things are, and we can choose to change how our world works. We just have to take that first step in actually trying to do so.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
For sure.
So in the beginning, you said you've had this album done since 2019. Do you still feel connected to what you guys worked on?
Yes. I think all of us did the smart thing and deliberately stopped listening to it in 2020. So with the record that we put out in 2015 called Disobedient, we actually had finished that in 2014. Mm-hmm. And then that was also like us sitting on it for a year because we just had to wait for some things to kind of come together to where we could actually get a proper rollout going. And we constantly listened to it on our own, and we're like, this is awesome. And by the time we actually put it out, we're like, oh, this is old news. It's an old hat. Like, I can't wait for people to hear the next shit that we're going to do. It almost felt as if we didn't care as much about it. And which was unfortunate because everyone was hearing the songs for the first time. We're like, yeah, but we're going to work on something new.
Yeah, you're like, fuck that album though.
So this time I feel like because the pandemic hit and everything just got put on ice, all of our tours got canceled, and we just made the collective decision. Nope, we're not putting out the record until we can go back on tour. All of us just stopped listening to it. And so now it's almost like I'm rediscovering it, or I'm rediscovering my relationship with it. And it feels great, to be honest.
Hell yeah. Love that.
That's perfect.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
Yeah. So, I'm funny enough. So I'm the drummer, and I'm probably not I'm definitely not the master songwriter in the band. I'm like the guy who comes in at the end of it and kind of helps with, I'm the guy who helps with maybe some rhythmic changes or pacing or cadence issues or something like that. But usually what happens is Chris and Josh, our guitar players, kind of get in their own zones and demo out some stuff by themselves. And then they meet together and then kind of work on it together. And then from there, usually it gets to the band, and then the band kind of goes through a draft process And then from there, we actually went and met with Drew Folk, who was the producer on the record. And it was like the first time, I mean, with True View, we did work with Derek Hoffman, who is awesome. And we worked with him and he did an amazing job producing it. But for Spectre, it was like, we had a couple of like extra meetings, like a couple of extra like pre-production meetings with Drew to like really pick apart and like deconstruct songs and figure out what works and what doesn't. And Drew was so cool. Everything was like fluid and he was so down to try like any new ideas. And it was like a really, I guess like a constructive or like generative kind of environment where everyone felt comfortable expressing ideas.
That's good.
Which is always great. And then from there, we just started tracking the record.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Sounds great, actually. That's so
yeah. I mean, I wish I had something more like provocative to say, like, we were like tortured over it. It took us, it took us years, and the band almost broke up.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was pretty paint by numbers, pretty straightforward.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's perfect. So, what song off the album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Oh, geez. Okay. So the one that took the longest to write, I'll say that all of them, I mean, I can't speak for like how long Chris and Josh spent on songs. I feel like sometimes Chris will like sit on a song for years trying to like hone it in and like get it dialed in perfectly before he presents it to the group. Chris is he's such a gifted songwriter, and he's also just like a master of demoing out songs. And sometimes I almost feel like we call it demoitis, where he like presents the song and he goes, "It's done. Like it will not be changed." And we're like, no, this is the first time I've heard it, Chris.
Yeah,
like we're gonna,
dude, we have notes.
Maybe we're gonna work through it. And he's like, no, it's done. But I mean, he's always a good sport about it. So I can't speak to like maybe any of the songs that Chris might have been like secretly working on for a couple of years. I feel like, so the song "Who Dares" on the record, it's interesting. So Chris actually kind of like ripped the structure from this Cardigan song. It's called "My Favorite Game." It's like an old like 90s hit. And when we first got the song, we're like, okay, this is really cool what you're trying to do. But like the structure was like a little crazy and we had to like maybe move around or like cut a couple of parts in half. So it didn't take a long time, but I feel like that one and Instruments at the end really got the most work done, at least cosmetically, maybe just moving around verses, extending parts and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe those two, if I'm thinking about it. For me personally though, I think my favorite song, I mean, I love "Open Up My Head." I think it's really cool. It's like the first time we've ever done something like that. It feels good now that the video's out and like people have heard it. Everyone's like, whoa, unexpected, but this is sick. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not upset about it. Yeah. Which is good. Yeah. It's much different than a couple of the other times we've thrown curveballs at people. They're like, what is this? I hate this. Why have you done this?
No.
So "Open Up My Head" might be my favorite. I think an unexpected favorite for me is the song "World to Win." Just because I didn't think it was going to turn out as good as it did. And now when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, this is like an integral song on the record and I love it. Where maybe like when we were first like demoing out, I was like, yeah, kind of like a standard like punk affair sort of thing. And now it's turned into the song that I love.
Oh yeah. Love
That's
that.
great. Love when there are surprises.
Yeah.
So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, just shuffle around, see what fits? What was that process like?
Oh, that's a great question. And it's funny. It's a question that is almost irrelevant now in the era of Spotify, where everyone where everyone is either throwing things on shuffle, or did they put the shuffle button back or not? I can't remember.
No, it's still gone.
Okay, it's still gone.
What?
The shuffle button, like it used to be like to play an album, you would hit the play button, but it would shuffle it. Now they took that away because like Adele bitched about it or something. I can't believe it took Adele to complain about it to get that to go away.
It's like you can still put it on shuffle, but they don't have like the auto the big one, the big green shuffle button or whatever, like on the album page.
Yeah, before they updated it, you used to have to hit the first track on the album to make it play in order.
I thought that was
Yes.
just because like you didn't have like Spotify Premium, because that's how it is if you don't have Spotify Premium. You still have the shuffle, automatic shuffle.
No.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, it's so funny. I think years ago, Jordan Buckley from Every Time I Die had a tweet, and it still sticks in my brain because I relate to it, or I think every musician relates to it, where he's like, you have no idea the torture that we put ourselves through to get this album listing the way that we think it's like the most sonically cohesive, and then for you to hit the shuffle button, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But like, at least like, yes, Spotify's taking over, but at the same time, vinyl is also making a huge return, so that like kind of makes track listing like relevant again.
Yes, I fully agree. And honestly, I mean, who cares? You can listen to it however you want to listen to it. I think, it's funny, there was a minute where we were like toying around with a couple of different songs to like open the record. We like recorded a different intro track that was cool, but it just like it wasn't clicking. We thought the song Liberate might have been like a cool track too, but then I think once Jesse like finally laid down his vocals for Weapon, we were like, oh, okay, this has got to be the song that kicks off the record, clearly. And then Josh had the great idea for like the intro track. And then after that, I feel like everything just kind of fell into place. There wasn't like a lot of like arguing. I feel like, and I don't know if that's like from us being like more confident or maybe complacent. It might be one of the two. But I feel like when we were doing like Diamond or Disobedient, it was like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, trying to put together track listing. It's like, how can we put it together perfectly to where this song flows into this song and that? And maybe now we're just like, no, like we're confident in our abilities to just like vibe out how this should feel, and we're just going to go with that. So
I would hope it's more like the confidence and not so much like the complacency, because like you guys have been doing it so long that it's like you guys kind of understand like how an album should flow and whatnot, and I hope it's not like, well, people are just gonna shuffle it anyway, so fuck it, we'll just put all the singles at the front, whatever, we're gonna structure this like a pop record.
Yeah, no, exactly. I feel like forever, and this is like before the shuffle button, I guess, became like such like a hot button issue or like a ubiquitous thing. We were constantly trying to front load tracks that we believed in, but we knew weren't going to get like music videos or pushes from like the label. And we're like, no. If we put those towards the front of the record, then people will hear them. And then we can put the singles later in the record.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, well, if it's a song that is supposed to be a deep track, it's supposed to be a deep track. Don't try to like cheat the system, or,
Exactly.
I don't know.
That worked before Spotify because you'd throw the CD and you had to listen to the whole thing. Now people are just like, well, fuck it. All the singles are down here at the bottom. I'll just listen to the second half of the record. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't think you have to be as calculated anymore.
You can't win.
You really can't.
Yeah.
So, would you be able to tell us where Headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Yeah. Sure. So, we went into the studio late 2019, and the TrueView record cycle kind of ended up being like, I think longer than any of us expected. But we just kept on getting good tour offers and opportunities presented to us that made it seem like that was okay. And it was kind of like running its natural course. So at the end of 2019, we did a tour supporting Knocked Loose, which was fantastic. It was an awesome tour.
Yeah.
And then we actually went over to Europe and we played 2 shows. They were a week apart. And these were like the biggest headlining shows we've ever played. And it was just a show for us. It was us and like 4 other bands. And they each drew around 2,300 kids.
Oh, wow.
And for us, it was almost like not only is this like a peak career achievement or like maybe, a peak life achievement for us, but we perhaps may have like actually shattered like what we thought was a glass ceiling. Because bands, we're always of the belief that like bands like us, there's an expiration date and a ceiling as to what we are able to accomplish. We know our lane. I think when we were younger, we had a lot of people telling us like, you have all these like different possibilities or avenues open to you, like going through the radio or getting this bigger tour or doing this, going this direction with your band. And, some attempts were made earnestly, others kind of more, I guess, like half-heartedly. And none of those ever like really panned out or like, I don't know, came to fruition. So it's not that we settled. We just understood like, okay, like, let's just be us. That's all we can do. We can just be the best that Stick to Your Guns can be. And accomplishing those shows, it was like, holy shit, I guess we can do more than we thought we were capable of.
Yeah.
So we went into the studio on a high note, which felt nice. And maybe that added to us feeling like more confident, because songs like Weapon or Hush or Instruments at the End or even The Shine, like those are all in Stick to Your Guns' wheelhouse, and like we feel comfortable doing that. That's not a problem for us. But a song like Open Up My Head, like when Josh was demoing it out, it's like, dude, I love this song. Weezer is my favorite band, like one of my favorite bands, or at least Blue Album and Pinkerton are like my favorite records. But it can Stick to Your Guns pull off a song that just sounds like Pissed Off Weezer? I don't know. So I'd say like March 2019, maybe I felt like that. And then by maybe the end of the year, I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's try it. I don't know. We just played these big ass shows. Like perhaps we could actually, make that next jump up. And it felt great. It felt good getting into the studio and feeling confident. I got to track drums at Studio 606, which is like the Foo Fighters studio. It's the one that Dave Grohl owns. It's the one where the board from Sound City, and the name escapes me. Oh, the Neve console. That's what it is. I don't know if you guys ever saw that documentary, Sound City.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Oh my God. You guys absolutely have to watch it. So this console is like legendary. It's this legendary analog console. They recorded Nirvana Nevermind on it. They recorded Rage self-titled on it.
Wow.
They recorded Slipknot self-titled on it.
Oh shit.
I don't know. They recorded like so many like epic records on it. So I got to record on that console, and we were in Studio 606, like playing like what's likely either like Taylor Hawkins or Dave Grohl's drum kits that are just like in there to record. One day, and I was losing my fucking mind over this. Like we walked into the studio and like someone was just ripping the drums, and I was like, okay, that's crazy. Like that's my drum kit. So I don't know why, like, well, it's mine for the day. Like I set it up,
Yeah.
And Chris was with me, our guitar player. He goes, yeah, what if that's Taylor Hawkins? I'm like, that'd be funny. Sure enough, we turn the corner and it's just Taylor Hawkins just fucking ripping the drums. Yeah. I was like, oh fuck. Are you kidding me? I was like trying to like really keep it together. I was like, don't punish this guy. Just like play it cool. It's all good. And then he was so fucking cool. He was so nice. He came in and he was telling us all these fucking crazy stories. He seemed so stoked and happy. And it like, he legitimately was just coming to the studio to pick something up. And he was like, oh, some drums are set up. Like, I'll just fucking rip these. It was so cool. Actually, you guys are the first people to like hear the story. We haven't told this to anyone.
Oh, wow.
So, well, we haven't gotten a chance to because this is the first we're doing press for this record.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that was so cool. I think we were all just like stoked. The songs came together. And I mean, we started 2020 and the way our year was getting lined up, it was going to be the best year for Stick to Your Guns, like ever. Which is like so fucking heartbreaking in hindsight, obviously. Like, okay, I'll run you guys through just this year. Is it okay if I just keep on talking about this?
Yeah,
all the time.
Okay, yeah.
Let's keep going.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I don't want to just like keep speaking extemporaneously and like
You're
just
good.
dragging on.
You're good. You're good.
So, all right. So we started the year and we had that Beartooth Motionless tour.
Oh, that tour was fucking sick.
I forgot about that.
Awesome tour. Amazing
I'm so
tour.
pissed I missed it.
Yeah. And well, that too is like a perfect tour for Stick to Your Guns because we can be like the token, like heavy hardcore band kind of thing. And a lot of like younger kids haven't been exposed to that style of music.
And then they're super into it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they love heavy music through Motionless and Beartooth, but like we're kind of like a different sound. And we did a Motionless tour in 2012. One of the best tours we've ever done for our band. Like,
and
ever.
that worked better then because like they were super heavy back then.
Yeah. exactly. So when we got the offer, we're like, yes, absolutely. Like, doesn't matter that we won't have a record out. Doesn't matter that we're at the tail end of a record cycle. Yes, like this is a great opportunity for us. So we did that. Then we had February off. So then we were support for Parkway Drive in an arena tour in Europe. So we had done a Parkway Drive tour that was massive in 2018. And this was like their jump up to like arenas. So we were playing like Wembley and like, I mean, just massive venues. It was Parkway, Hatebreed, us, and Venom Prison.
That's such a good
God.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those things where like, how often do bands like Stick to Your Guns get to say, oh yeah, we got to play Wembley? Like, that's insane. So we were so stoked for that. Then after that, we were doing another Motionless tour. It was Motionless, Knocked Loose, and us, which was going to be great. That's when we were going to start rolling out parts of the record. Over the summer, we were going to do like a small club tour run. It was going to be us, Kubla Khan, Higher Power, and Drain. That was the plan. So again, like we're riding high. Like just all of these are just heater tours.
Oh yeah.
Then we got a Rise Against offer.
Holy fuck.
Oh my God.
Didn't you guys just play with them too?
Yes. And I mean, this is the most Stick to Your Guns thing that could like ever happen to Stick to Your Guns. We are like truly like a Larry David-esque band in terms of like how our luck kind of pans out sometimes. So it is such our luck that we had been chasing this Rise Against tour. Like it was like, you know, that's our like Great White Buffalo. Just for a decade, we had just been like, if we could just get on a Rise Against tour. Not even so much as like we think it's this like perfect stepping stone. It's like it's just our favorite band. We think that we would gel well with their fans. We like to say that we're like a Rise Against Hatebreed kind of amalgamation sort of thing. And we were always like in contention with other bands, and it was like, okay, it's you and this band and this band, and I think they're leaning towards you. Like management would always say that, and then we would just never get it. So we had just thought that's a pipe dream. That's not happening. Finally, we get this Rise Against offer. And I mean, allegedly, I think the tour was going to be like Rise Against, the Menzingers, which is one of my favorite bands.
That's nuts.
And then us. And we were so fucking stoked about it. And then at the end of the year, we were going to do a Euro headliner, which was going to be like us returning, having played those massive ass shows.
Yeah.
And so it was going to be us, and we were going to be bringing Turnstile on tour
before they blew up.
Yes. So that was our 2020 laid out, and like we were talking about it like this could not be more perfect. Like we have the perfect year to roll this record out. And in January on that Motionless tour, my wife and I actually had a trip booked to China in March. So we were going to go to China in March. And United Airlines sent an email to us that was like, hey, your flights are canceled and fully refundable. And that's it. Like instantly I knew at that point, I was like, oh, airlines never want to give you your money back. And so this is January 2020. And my wife like really started like looking into COVID because we were, you know, still trying to prepare to go to China at the time. And we were like trying to figure out if we needed to take it seriously or what the deal was. Cause you know, at the time, all sorts of rumors and like speculations about, oh, it's like, you know, just a foodborne illness and it's only people who eat meat, you know, this is like really early in the game. But I knew something was amiss then. And then as soon as that Parkway tour got canceled, I was like, oh, I'm just never going back on tour. Like that's it. This year's a wash. Many of my peers kept on being like, no, we'll like reassess in like 4 months. And I was like, guys, like
that was every tour postponement ever.
Get yourself ready for like the long haul. You know, hopefully you don't have to like, you know, keep yourself safe, but like prepare that you are going to be home for an extended period of time. Everyone thought I was insane for like the first like 3 months of like hard hardcore lockdowns, everyone's like, George is kind of taking this like a little too crazy. And then, I mean, sure enough, 2.5 years later, it's like, well,
exactly.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
So heartbreaking to like go through that now, to like relive those tour cancellations. But just so you know, when we were recording the record and getting ready to roll it out, we were riding high.
Yeah, that's a fucking nuts lineup, and that's nuts that you guys had the entire year planned out like before everything kind of went to shit.
It was so sick. It was going to be it was for sure going to be the best touring cycle that Stick to Your Guns has ever had. We had never had like more of like a cohesive plan as to like how to like really approach the record. But like,
it's rough. Definitely, like, it sucks you guys got all that taken away, but it seems like you guys have kind of like had a good kick back into touring. Like you did the run with a short run with Rise Against, right? And you're bringing Kombucha out later this year. So
yeah, it's like we were able to like salvage parts of it. And I guess I should follow up on that Rise Against thing. So we only got the Rise Against offer because Riding Out had to drop off, and then like 2 other bands passed on the tour.
Well, and like, finally did it, so that's what matters.
And so like they came to us like, oh, that was that one band, right? And we're like, yes, please take us on tour. I mean, I'm joking, because like they're the nicest guys ever, and it worked out great. I mean, the tour was hell for us because of like vehicle complications. We went through like 4 vans.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. And so that hurt, but getting the opportunity to finally play in front of Rise Against fans and getting to like hang out and meet Rise Against was great. So very grateful for the opportunity. Unfortunate that we had such a difficult time on the tour, and also that it only came to us by way of Walter, the singer of Rotting Out, literally getting hit by a car. He's okay.
Oh my god.
Wow.
He's
glad
okay.
He's okay.
Yeah, glad he's okay.
He's okay, but he literally got hit by a car, and that's why he had to get ACL surgery. And then 2 other bands passed, and then it finally got to us. So
you pass up a tour with Rise Against. I'm sorry,
but
it was very last minute. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like it worked out for us that way. And I mean, thank God we took it, because then we did have a Parkway Drive tour that was on the books for the States that ended up getting canceled. So thank God we took the Rise Against tour. We're very grateful for it.
So true.
God.
Well, that put me through a fucking roller coaster. Like,
right?
I'm glad that you guys are kind of like back on your feet, but holy shit. Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's just the tale as old as time. This is just how Stick to Your Guns rolls. Like just constantly, it's like a when it rains it pours situation for us. But I mean, somehow we're still doing it. I mean, Josh just did this whole last tour in a neck brace.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He's half of his the left side of his body is numb, which is it's very bad. But he's doing okay. He's in treatment. He's got a lot of qualified medical professionals that are looking at him, so he's going to be okay.
Good.
But yeah, that's pretty much a metaphor for Stick to Your Guns, though. It's like, can you still walk? Yes. Okay, great. I'm going to do the tour.
Yeah. Can you play the guitar? All right, perfect.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So back to the record.
Yes.
How do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it a workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
I think for me, it would either be car solo, or headphone solo. And I would add the caveat of headphone solo not being on your phone or distracted by anything else, which I know that's a big ask these days. But I would advise people to maybe take one listen to it through, just being dedicated and focused on just listening to the record, to take it in just that one time. I did that in the car just the other day, just one full time through. And I mean, I'm biased obviously, but I was like, oh, wow, that was a cool experience. So.
Oh yeah.
For sure. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words.
Oh God. 3 words. Okay. Let's say, gosh, I don't want to sound too cliched, so I don't know. This could be cringy on my part. I'd say driving, as in a lot of forward momentum on the record. It doesn't seem to like skip a beat. Not driving as in just like driving your car, but driving, momentum, pushing forward. I would say unapologetic in terms of the message and in terms of how proud we are of what we were able to accomplish with the record and how we are just like so stoked on it. And I would also say contemplative. I would hope it's something that provokes self-reflection or introspection or self-critique on part of the listener. And I would hope that they would be able to find enjoyment in trying to really understand the meaning behind the songs.
All right.
Those were very good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
I appreciate the explanation too.
Exactly.
I wanted to be like dry, aggressive, loud, angry. So I hope I was able to come up with some more, thought-provoking.
Yeah,
Did a good job.
Yeah. Adjectives. Good.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Emotion. Yeah, I'd say, do I need to give 3 or just?
No, just as many as you want.
One.
Yeah.
I'll give 2. I'll say I want listeners to be inspired, but I would also like listeners to be angry.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Perfect. So what was your favorite memory that you made while creating this album?
Can you even top the Taylor Hawkins one though?
Right, I was gonna say.
I think it's that. Yeah, I definitely think it's that.
All right,
for sure.
That's
yeah, so I already gave that one away. So yeah.
All
right.
By any chance, did he like stay and watch you record your drums, or was it just as you said, he was just picking stuff up and then going out?
No, he took off, and thank God, because I would have fucking blown it. I would have blown it so hard. Like it would have derailed the entire, like any of the progress that I would have made. Like I had already done like such a good job at like getting through. I think I like got through like 6 or 7 tracks on the first day. And I would have just been a fucking mess if he stayed around. I would have been like second guessing literally everything that I had to do. Okay, so actually I'll give you guys another story if you'd like.
We got time.
Okay, so this is from actually True View, the record beforehand. And I'm not kidding you. I'm not fucking joking. This involves Chris, again, our guitar player, me, and another member of the Foo Fighters. It involves Dave Grohl.
What?
What?
So I know no one's going to believe us. No, but we do have 2 other witnesses there for this. So thank God. So Derek Hoffman, the producer on True View, and our friend Braden, who was helping us write, was also there. We all went to get ice cream, and it was after like a long day in the studio. We're all kind of like fried mentally. We're like, let's go get some ice cream. Let's like chill. Nice, nice kind of like May, almost summer night. And we're standing outside this ice cream shop. This is in 2017. Down the street, there's a guy walking towards us who kind of looks like Dave Grohl. And Chris goes, what if that's Dave Grohl? Which is quite literally exactly what he did with Taylor. No one's going to believe me, but that's literally exactly what he did with Taylor Hawkins. And I'd be like, oh, that's funny. And sure enough, it's Dave Grohl and his wife. And Chris and I are fucking crying, laughing. We're like hysterically laughing. We can't even fucking believe that it's Dave Grohl. We're like, holy fucking shit, no way. There is a line out the door of this ice cream place that and it's kind of like a smaller space, so they don't have a lot of people in there. I can't remember the ice cream spot, but there's a line out the door. Everyone there knows it's Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl doesn't see the line, and he just walks into the ice cream shop, and everyone's like, it's all good. That's Dave Grohl. Yeah. No one's going to say anything. Someone comes up behind him to like also come into the ice cream shop. He turns around and he goes, oh fuck, there's this whole, oh, I'm sorry, and everyone goes, no,
just go.
Like,
you're good.
Just go. You're good, man. Watch Dave Grohl get some ice cream, and as he's leaving, of course, our friend Braden had to give him like a head nod. Like, Braden, this is so fucking embarrassing. But Dave Grohl gave him like a little head nod back, and that was that. So Chris and I are 2 for 2 with Foo Fighters experiences.
Holy shit!
Somehow we're recording records. Yeah.
So. That's fucking nuts.
I know, it's so funny. Yeah, Chris is incredible in these situations. There was one time we were at the Grove. I'm just sorry, I'm going on so many tangents.
No, please.
These stories are hilarious.
Yeah,
we were at the Grove in Los Angeles, and we came out of a parking garage, and Chris like literally runs into Scott Ian, like runs into him, and Chris just goes, "Holy shit, it's Scott Ian," and then just keeps on walking. Which was such an amazing like interaction to witness. It was fucking incredible.
So he just said that and then just kept moving. Like, no, big fan, nothing, just...
Yeah, and Chris like fucking loves Anthrax, like loves Scott Ian, but that's just like, that's Chris's temperament. He's just Canadian nice. That's just how he interacts with people. It was so funny.
I can't believe like both times you were with Chris and he was like, what if that's one of the people from the Foo Fighters? And you're like, holy shit, it is both times.
I know. At this point, like, I'm convinced that I just have to keep recording records with Chris, and we will eventually run into every member of the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Like, Pat Smear's for sure next. So whatever the next Stick to Your Guns record is, I'm somehow going to run into Pat Smear with Chris.
Oh, 100%.
Just got to keep Chris by your side at all times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Somehow I'm only with Chris when I'm doing these celebrity spottings.
A Foo Fighters tour feels like it's in your future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if they continue to be a band.
True.
Yeah, true.
But keep us in mind.
Yeah,
for sure.
So picture this: you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Oh God. Okay. If I'm trying to be sensible, like a protein bar or like a Cliff Bar, and like lots of gas stations, like. And this is like so yuppie, but like lots of gas stations have kombucha now, which is like nice.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a different world than it was in like 2010 when it's like, you're going to take this Monster Energy and you're going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's when I like want to feel good about myself and be like, okay, this was the sensible option for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like, okay, it's my turn to drive, I haven't slept. I'm getting a comically sized bag of Swedish fish.
Nice.
Just the largest bag of Swedish fish that I can find.
The sharing size, but it's all for you.
Yeah, it's all for me. And probably an energy drink that is like irreparably damaging some organ inside of my body. Yeah.
Those are the only ones that work.
If it burns going down, it probably is really bad for you, but it's got the most caffeine in it, so it's perfect.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going to finish that drive. Yes, exactly. I'm going to finish my drive. That is my duty to my band. That's part of the contract.
Oh,
True.
for sure. And do you have a favorite flavor of kombucha? Sorry, it's just, I had to ask.
Yeah, so there's this one that's called like Clear Mind. I forget the brand. It's like a black tea. It's got like ginseng in it. I don't know. It's nice. It's like really mild. It's not like it doesn't like hurt. It's not like the ginger lemon ones. Those are kind of rough,
Those hurt.
I like either like the fruitier ones or like the ones that are just like kind of like a mild tea.
Okay. Perfect.
Right.
Sounds good. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Oh God. Jesus. That's funny.
Thank you.
I'd probably say either like pizza or a pasta dish from there's this restaurant chain in Europe called Vapiano that has become like a family tradition for us now. It's like, imagine like kind of like a better Olive Garden, like a more elevated Olive Garden, if you will. Makes you feel like it's not the Olive Garden when you're there. No disrespect. No disrespect to Olive Garden.
Banging.
It's good, but
but you know what you're doing when you're there. You know what you're doing. Everyone's being bad boys when they're there. We're living it up. We're going into we're dealing with like a carb overdose kind of thing.
Exactly.
You gotta unbutton the pants at the end of the meal.
Oh,
kind
for
of thing.
sure.
Yeah.
Vapiano doesn't quite leave you like that. It's still filling.
Okay.
But it's kind of become like a Stick to Your Guns family tradition. So I'd say like a nice pasta dish from Vapiano.
All right.
That's very wholesome.
So for the last couple of questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Okay. My last meal is a Reuben, like a vegan Reuben sandwich. Reuben, it's the king of the sandwiches. It's my favorite sandwich. If there is a Reuben on a menu, I'm ordering it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So vegan Reuben and probably just classic red can Coca-Cola.
All right. Sounds good.
Perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh, good question.
Thank you.
Amazing question. Okay. Geez. You know what? My answer is a reality in which Toontown is real. So I'm talking like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to live in a world where toons are a part of our lives, and they're committing Looney Tunes style hijinks all the time. That's the funniest possible reality I can think of.
All right.
Okay, so like Space Jam.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but rather than being in the toon world, like still our world, but like Bugs Bunny would like come over for dinner. Kind of thing.
I get it.
Or like if you're like walking downtown and you see a giant X, like you better watch out because a piano might fall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you can be walking with Chris through the entire time and he'll go, "Holy shit, that's Bugs Bunny."
Exactly that. Like, have you guys seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I don't think so. I might have, but
I didn't want to pigeonhole you guys. I didn't want to say you might be too young for that, but you might be.
We might be,
but
maybe.
Please, I beg of you, watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit. If you have a Disney Plus subscription, it's on there. It might be lost on some people now with like how everything's CGI'd and we're kind of like desensitized to it. But it is a movie that is shot with practical effects, and they had to hand draw all the animations in it.
Those, yeah.
And I mean, they're like, this is like the like OG Avengers Endgame of like IP crossovers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he goes to a bar and Donald Duck and Daffy Duck are like doing dueling piano solos and like trying to like kill each other on stage, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I sound like an insane person trying to explain this to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sound like a fucking lunatic, fully aware of it, but I'm just like constantly singing the gospel of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's one of my favorite movies ever. If you are ever bored and looking for something, please watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit and then tag Stick to Your Guns on Twitter on it and tell us that you watched it.
Okay. For sure. I'll do it.
Right.
I'll do it.
I will be the one to respond to you and we can go over theories.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Perfect. I'll do it.
So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person that we've spoken to has said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Green.
Specific shade?
Yeah, these days I kind of like Matrix green, I'd say.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my answer. The Matrix is my other favorite movie, so
that's a good pick. What did you think of the most recent Matrix? It had like mixed reviews.
It's fucking incredible, but I'm like not the person. Okay, so I'm not the person to ask about it because as I just did with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like I want to start a cult around all of the Matrix movies. Like I think the Wachowski sisters are gods. I think they can do no wrong. They make incredible movies. And every Matrix movie, whether it's Matrix 1, Reloaded, Revolutions, Resurrections, fucking phenomenal movies. They're just the best goddamn movies I've ever seen. I'm also trying to like wage a one-man war to get everybody to reconsider the Matrix sequels. So
that's an uphill battle, man.
I know, but Matrix Reloaded, I keep on coming back to it. I'm like, this movie is fucking levitating. It is 10 out of 10, just incredible. And I didn't expect what's your favorite color to get me to Matrix, but yeah, that's my opinion of those things.
Perfect. I'm glad you love them, man. I'm glad you love them.
All right.
Yeah. So, if you want to take a do a rewatch of those, maybe also alongside Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Not to give you homework while you're doing this interview, but
yeah,
Gloria, we're gonna have to take a day off. You've got homework to do.
I mean, I recently watched The Matrix, so I'll check that one off. I'll check out the Who Framed Roger Rabbit though. That sounds cool.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
You got me.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Spectre, new Stick to Your Guns record, comes out July 29th. We'll be on tour in the States and Canada in September. And then we'll be over in UK, Europe in November, December.
Nice. And aren't you guys bringing Knock Loose on that?
Yes.
That's fucking sick.
It's very, very excited.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you for now. That's been George from Stick to Your Guns, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.